funny. I was on a Uber ride yesterday, and I saw the dude had the Dominican flags on his keychain. So I was like, "Oh, you're Dominican?" He's like, "No, I'm Colombian, but my wife is Dominican." So he pops off, right? Gave me this whole life story in the 10-minute ride. But there was one line that stuck out to me because he happened to be like a professor, and he said he had kids back home, 13 and 15, and he's educating them, and he wants them to have a better life. And his advice to them, and he said it in Spanish, but I'm like, damn, that's a bar. It was like, he said, the best tasting food you ever had has always been cooked on low heat and for a long time. And I was like,
wow,
damn, that's a bar.
Damn, I love that.
So he was like, he was telling his kids, like, take your time, build whatever it is you want to do, like, figure it out, but like, don't rush it, because you're gonna rush it, you're gonna be misguided. Like, bro, take your time. You wanna learn whatever it is you want to learn, right? Even when we went to college, right? Like, you can't rush your way through 4 years to get a degree, right? You got to take your time. You got to take it one homework assignment at a time, one test at a time, one semester at a time, 1 year at a time. So that was his feedback to his kids. But the way he said it in Spanish, I was like, damn, that's a bar.
Say it in Spanish. We need to hear the bars. Well, give me the setup and say it in Spanish. Yeah.
He said, la mejor comida se cocina largo y fuego lento.
And you were in the Uber.
Yeah, I was like, damn, that's a bar.
Wait, how did that come about though? Like, where the conversation came from?
So it came from the keychain. I thought he was Dominican. It was his wife was Dominican. Then, every Uber driver, if you pry enough, they tell you the whole life story. So he told me he had 2 kids in Colombia, but that even though he's not there, he still FaceTimes them. He reads them books. He teaches them about self-development. And so I thought that was beautiful. I like connected with him in that aspect. But when he said that line, which, by the way, I'm going to tie back everything to the first thing we spoke about, which was, bro, I was so open-minded enough to talk to an Uber driver, and he gave me a nugget, and I was like, damn, that's a bar. Like, I'm going to keep that in my pocket, right?
Old Rich would have never even spoke to him.
Bro, I don't want to talk to this Uber driver. This guy's driving a taxi. Like, what can he teach me? New Rich is like, I just learned something from an Uber driver. I didn't go to college. I didn't go to YouTube. I didn't go to Audible audiobook. I didn't look at a Steve Jobs biography. Like, I learned it from a random dude driving Uber. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, bro. Everyday people have real shit to teach, bro. Because they're living in it. They're in the water. They're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So
I like the low heat and low flame.
He said the best tasting food you'll ever have is cooked on low heat for a long time. And it's true, bro. In Spanish culture, right? Like, if you're making like a carne asada, pollo asado, and you put that thing on low heat, or even the crock pot, bro. You put something.
A pernil takes 12 fucking hours to cook. For real.
How delicious is that?
You letting them
roast.
letting them flavors get acquainted with each other. They living with each other. You letting that pork get real tender. Yeah.
Yeah. Ribs too. Anything delicious, slow roasted. It's like.
So that's it. That's our 5th one. We'll have to do a part 2 to this.
We'll
have to do a part 2, another 5, because this was actually a fun one because the take your time being the number 5 is important. And it does relate to the other ones where you're saying, like, sometimes take your AirPods off, take your headphones off, and just understand that the world around you, the people that are actually living around you, they're living in the same world you live in. And if they are not successful in your eyes, and they may seem like a failure in your eyes, somebody that doesn't have it together, there's probably more to be learned from that person than someone that was rich at 15 years old, 16 years old. YouTube star gets rich off of gains wealth off of one crypto stock. We fall in love with these stories of child prodigies or young people that I work in a business where a lot of young people make a lot of money quick. obviously you invest in a lot of things, but crypto is something that you keep your eye on, and that's another business where a lot of young people get rich quick. We both hung out in LA. You see a lot of young people driving Ferraris, Lambos, going to the nicest restaurants. But what can truly be gained from them? I'm not knocking it. You can definitely learn something. But you're saying that same level of information, if not more, can be gained from someone that is living a more simpler life that didn't necessarily maybe achieve everything they wanted, but in that gap between the gold medal and the silver medal, which is their life, they found some truth and how to cope with it or some information they could share with you. That guy's life was obviously not everything he wanted it to be, but in that between the silver and the gold, he was able to give you a piece of information like, hey, I can't be everywhere at once, but you know what? I do what I can with what I have. And you know what? Some of the best food in the world that you'd have never had cooks on low. So don't try to go crazy all the time because you might not make it. And that's incredible. To me, that translates into stay low and keep firing. You know what I mean? As long as you're staying in the game, you have a possibility of winning the game. And that was another something I wish I knew sooner, which I know now, and I would love to pass on to our community, which is there's something beautiful about finding a little pocket or something that you're very, very interested in that you feel like is pulling you towards it. And it doesn't have to be like something that is like a vanity thing or a status thing. It could just be something natural. I've always known that communicating and speaking and like being interested in either gaining knowledge or giving knowledge is something that always came very natural to my family. My dad would be gone off the yee and alcohol, and he could sit at a table, bro, and me and my nieces and my nephews and my cousins, we would just sit and listen to my dad like he was basically like a prophet, bro, like a pastor, just teaching us about shit in life that we are like 12, 10, 9, 5 years old. We have no business listening to the real life shit that my dad is teaching us, but that level of sharing of information definitely raised me to be way more wiser than a lot of people I grew up with. Shit is probably the reason why I don't drink and smoke. I never have before because I knew from his teachings like, hey, even though I'm doing it, type shit like, don't be like me. It's not easy being me.
Yeah.
Don't you be yourself. You know what I mean? And to me, that level of curiosity always led me down a road, which I'm happy that I found my profession and I'm happy we're doing this because I think there is something to be said about finding something you're passionate about, finding something you're interested in, and just chipping away at it daily. You know what I mean? Like low heat, but consistency. Keep
Yep.
firing, stay low, keep firing, show up. Find your little edge, find the edge in the competitive field of a million things to do.